Hey everybody, what's up? I am Felris, sailing the seas of Raid Shadow Legends. Guys, today we're going to go over some gear cleansing tips. I have a lot of gear. I have 1,300 pieces of gear, and not all of it is actually going to do me any good. So I'm going to give you guys some tips on what to keep, what not to keep, so that you guys aren't keeping trash gear, and I'm not keeping trash gear either. Alright guys, so the first thing is to look at the sets. There are a lot of sets in this game. Most of them can be used for at least one thing, but a lot of them are way more useful than others. For example, sets like Frostbite or Frost can be used on somebody like a UDK, a tank for arena, right? So that you can get a little extra crowd control. You want to know a secret? You can get Corrado for free, as well as Fane, Ugo, and Vergus right now. Here's exactly how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Use the link in the description below to start a brand new Raid Shadow Legends account. Log in, complete the tutorial, and you'll find Corrado Fox Hunter in your inbox afterwards. As you level up, you'll also get Fane, Ugo, and Vergus. So don't wait. Use that link and start a brand new account right now. However, outside of that, these sets aren't good, right? They aren't very good at all. Now, similar stuff with something like stun. Now, stun sets you want to keep for faction wars, right? Similar thing with daze sets. Daze set isn't very good, but because of some faction wars hard stages, you do want to keep it. The other thing is, if there's a good piece of gear in a bad set, you may want to keep it. Now, you don't necessarily want to keep it. It really depends on where your account is. For example, I don't keep a lot of daze gear, right? Most of this I could probably sell. But a piece like this one here, this shield, right? It has crit damage, double speed, and crit rate, which is actually pretty darn good. So as far as offset pieces are concerned, you probably want to keep just a couple in case you need to fill out a build later on. But generally, the sets that I want to keep, speed set, I do keep crit rate gear, and the only reason I keep crit rate gear is, again, just as a filler set. If I need it, if a build is super good but it doesn't have enough crit rate, I can maybe fill it out with a crit rate set. I keep crit damage. Crit damage is a great way to up your crit damage. I don't really keep accuracy gear anymore. A lot of this is really old accuracy gear. I will keep boots for accuracy, and I'll keep stuff that like double or triple rolls crit rate or speed, but I don't really keep accuracy gear. I don't keep resistance gear. I guess I do keep resistance gear, but that's going to be changing very soon. Okay, I no longer keep any resistance gear. I don't keep a lot of lifesteal gear. These are actually just offset pieces that I thought were okay, like this one that double rolled accuracy, right? But honestly, this piece isn't even that good. This piece is pretty good. It double rolled crit damage, has a roll in accuracy, and a mythical roll in crit rate. That piece is pretty good. But outside of that, I don't keep much of this gear. Now that would change if I was early game. If you're super early game, the accuracy set is actually going to be your best friend, because early on it's far more accessible than pinpoint gear or perception gear. So you want to keep accuracy pieces that have good speed rolls, and that'll help get your accuracy requirement up so that you can do stuff like clearing stage 20 dungeons. So what gear you keep really depends on where you are in the game. Same thing with lifesteal, and same thing with cursed, although cursed gear I would actually argue is the opposite. You want that more later on in the game for Hydra, so that you have a chance to place a hex deep. That's my opinion regarding cursed. Toxic gear, I don't know why I have this much toxic gear. Honestly, I really should just sell most of this. Most of it does have speed, so I've been wanting to, that might be a good piece. I've been wanting to like roll, but the reality is that offset gear isn't actually going to be that great. So We're not going to use any of that. I need more provoke gear. Not going to sell any of that. The other thing I don't sell is 6-star speed boots. And I've started selling like 5-star speed boots that haven't rolled up. I don't use avenging gear at all. This is one of the worst sets in the game. So we can sell all of that for sure. Stalwart gear. I feel like it could be useful somewhere. I don't see any 5-star pieces off the top of my head. That doesn't have speed, but I think the rest of these do have speed. Yeah, so we're just going to sell the one that doesn't have speed. Reflex gear is good. Curing gear, well, it's all common and uncommon. I don't keep any of that. Wherever you are in the game, no matter what, you should not be keeping common and uncommon gear unless you are farming super early on, nightmare campaign in the spot that gives you the speed boots. Outside of that, shouldn't really do anything else. The other thing I don't keep is going to be 5-star gear. So 5-star gear is not my friend. So if it's not rolled up and it's 5-star, I don't keep it. Now, oddly enough, in Raid, there's not actually a button that lets you filter 5-star gear or just gear that's not rolled up. I will keep these regen boots because they are speed and in a set that I don't have a lot of. But outside of that, yeah. Same thing actually with these savage boots. They have speed. They're in a set that I don't have a lot of. So yeah, that one can go, but that one has crit damage and attack. So I'm going to leave that one. Yep, all of this can go. This is just from me being neglectful, not selling my gear at the door in Clan Boss. Basically, I'm looking for stuff that's not rolled up that doesn't have speed. But if you're early on in the game, you probably want stuff, a lot more stuff that I want, right? Look, we already have 3 million silver here just by selling all this gear. If you're early on in the game, you want to keep, you know, the cruel pieces, the savage pieces, because stats are more important than sets early on. You're not going to worry so much about sets. You're going to want to make sure that your champions hit the stat requirements for whatever it is that they're actually doing. And to do that, you're going to need a lot of off pieces because you're not going to have a lot of gear for every single set early on. You know, this stuff, like some of these sets I just don't keep a lot of anyways. You know, yeah, we can sell that. I'm not going to sell that helmet though. And then perception gear. Perception gear is your goal. You want to be able to farm perception gear in faction wars. We have a lot of that. We're going to go over what to do with that in a little bit. And we're going to go through a crafting session of that perception gear. But like, even all this mythical gear, unless it mythical rolls speed, I'm probably not interested. Right now, I'm interested in making my champions faster, have more attack, hit harder, all that kind of stuff. And I'm past the point where 5-star gear is going to be super helpful in doing that. Again, we keep stuff that's rolled up, just on the off chance that I might use it. But outside of that, I mean, look, we're literally getting 12 million silver. I don't know if you can see that. The impulse gear is unfortunate because I haven't been farming live arena recently, and it's kind of rare and really good. So kind of unfortunate that we sell that, but it is what it is. The reality is, even if I hung on to these pieces thinking, oh, maybe I can use them somewhere, and the reality is they're just gonna sit in my collection and not do anything. Pinpoint, I don't like solid pinpoint. Yeah. So yeah, we've got 14 million silver by just selling the 5-star gear that we didn't want. That is crazy. That is crazy. None of it was part of a preset or anything. So now we just have the 5-star gear. Either that's in limited sets that I want to keep, or stuff that's already rolled up because I didn't want to waste silver, and just some of this gear can be used on like Faction Wars champs or something. So yeah, that's how that works. This life gear here, the only reason I'm keeping these at all is because they are 6-star speed boots, and that can be used as off pieces for something. No such thing as 5-star feral gear, so we don't have to worry about that. Slayer, the state of my Slayer gear is awful right now, but there are some ideas for what gear to keep. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me gear cleanse. Guys, I've been Felrus, sailing the seas of Raid Shadow Legends, and I'll see you in another video.